All right, we are recording, Meliha. So, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time today to be on the Zoom and to share with me and other people who'll be watching this video your experience and the journey you've taken with me. So, let me start with welcoming you and then asking you tell the audience who you are and what do you do and where do you live, so that people think that you're not in my city. So. All right, take it on. Let me know.
Sure. My name is Meliha Perez-Halpern, and I'm an attorney in the Washington, D.C. area. I handle personal injury cases, which means that I help people who have been hurt in car crash cases go from being hurt and not knowing what to do to trying to get them an economic recovery for their injuries from a crash that's not their fault.
Well, I know we've known each other for almost 2 years now. I think it was October, November-ish kind of in 2017 when you first called me because you had heard about what I do and you were curious to know more. That was our very first Zoom. So tell me, what was the first thing you did, if you can remember, and why did you do the life map reading?
So I have two colleagues that are friends that I know that have worked with you and that knew you, and they spoke very highly about you. And they talked about your coaching services, but being more than just the coaching. You add the life map reading and energy work into your practice. And I was drawn to the differences from not just getting a coach out of the box. And so I called you and talked to you about life map reading. The first thing we did back then was a full life map reading where you were able to have insights that only someone with a gift would know. There were certain things that did not come from me that came from you that made me understand the extent of your gifts in that area in terms of life map reading. As a lawyer, I was a skeptic for a while. I wasn't sure how to reconcile the concept of life map reading, energy work, everything that has to do with life map reading with also being a business coach. And so I was one of those people that took a long time to kind of go all in with Gagan on the coaching and the business aspect of the coaching.
Yeah.
I knew right away that you had skills in terms of life coaching, but at the time I was more focused on growing the business and growth in terms of the business and less on the personal side. So I was hesitant for a bit in terms of how all of the skills would be both life and business.
Yeah, I remember you were not an easy close for me. I know that. So, Meliha, you're not new into the business world. You've had your law firm for 7, 8 years now?
Correct.
And working with coaches, like business coaches, was not a new avenue for you. You've worked with other coaches in the past. You've done a lot of personal development work. You're constantly learning to enhance your professional skills and your business. Am I correct?
Yes.
So I do understand, where that kind of this challenge was, where you couldn't understand how will I be able to connect the dots from the inner energy work, life map reading, Chinese astrology, destiny work into creating results in your business. So let's fast forward a year from there, which was kind of this year, because you had shared your interest in business coaching. And I said, I do that all the time. But you had the challenge, like, how will that correspond with your KPIs, with your results, with your financial goals, with your business growth and expansion, right? So let's fast forward from the life map reading experience, which was almost like a 90-day journey.
Yeah.
So do you believe and do you feel today that after that 90 days, things like your level of giftedness that you have heightened and your awareness was at a much higher level? So tell me a little bit about that from the results perspective.
So once I started working with you, it was interesting because I became much more in tune with myself and what I wanted my business to look like and the types of clients that I wanted to come in. Just like in any other business, law firms have ideal clients. And so realizing the shift in what my ideal client looked like and how to attract that more so than the general public that was coming in the door. And as I focused on that with some guidance from you, it also started, those people started coming in the door more than the other types of injured clients as well. And being able to connect quicker, deeper with the clients that were coming to me so that they could feel like they could trust me and share with me all of the information, which made my job closing the case coming into my office easier, as well as helping them because the level of trust got cemented much quicker because of it, which also helps increase the value of their case and then my ability to help them at a higher level.
Absolutely. And isn't that always the goal? That if we can get in alignment with our guide inside, our higher consciousness, and we know exactly how to manifest that, then we bring that into our life, into our relationships, and into our businesses. So you just about a couple of months ago completed the High Achievement Coaching, business coaching program with me. You took a 4-month journey into a deeper dive, which was highly customized to you and to your business growth. So tell me and the audience a little bit what your challenges were before you started the journey and why you wanted to start the journey and what results you accomplished.
So I wanted to start the journey because I was ready to try to take my business to another level. My business was not as systematized on a day-to-day basis as I would like it. It depended on my own personal knowledge that was in my head and not necessarily in writing. And so my team at the time of 2 people was reliant on me for a lot of guidance versus being able to say, here are the systems, go to this spot to answer your questions. And then if you need more input from me, come to me. And so I really wanted to be able to take a little bit of a separation from the day-to-day minutia of the business so that my team could work on their own and I could handle higher level tasks for the business and help with the growth and the strategy and planning of the business.
Yeah.
And part of the plan that you put in place and the comprehensive plan that you put in place was very specific goals per call and per month to help focus and moving from here are all of my ideas and how do we slowly implement them. Because as you mentioned, I'm a learner. I love reading books, but then I ingest all of this information, but then don't necessarily carve out the time to actually implement it and roll it out consistently. And so part of what we did together was you helping focus on, well, what part of these ideas are we going to implement when? So things like an employee manual with the policies and procedures of my employees in terms of expectations as employees, I was able to finalize and roll out. That was something in the back burner for almost a year. And so very quickly with your guidance, I was able to get that from a draft out in the ether space to rolled out, as well as we have worked on documenting systems and procedures for the day-to-day tasks and the different types of work, with, which is also something that we worked on together in terms of implementing.
Yeah. So I think, where I felt the challenges were that you had all these beautiful ideas and strategies, but the implementation and the action was not there. And it was nothing to do with you. I think it was the dynamic complexity of the environment that you're in. And of course, considering all the 2 employees that you had at the time. And I want to know more about how the team is doing, because we did a lot of that energetic work and strategizing how to get you from a place of managing day-to-day tasks to deleting and delegating what does not give you the return on investment, but to kind of lead your team to actually take the ownership of what is given to them. So accountability was a big thing that I remember that we had to put in place between us and then from you to your employees. So tell us a little bit about how that experience went.
So the working with the employees is definitely, and I look at them more as team members versus employees, just in terms of philosophically how I run the business. There was a big change in the sense that for a long time, we were all equal all the time, and responsibilities were pushed aside, and certain team members would exert their power in the business versus very specific decisions on how things were going to flow. And so that has been managed, where there's a clear, it is my business. And while I work with my team and they're very important to me, and in our business we manage up and down, the difference has become that I am managing down more than I used to. And the management up is still happening and I still encourage it. But at the end of the day, it is my final say on certain things. And there are lots of times, I would say more times, where their suggestions are what's implemented because they're the ones on the front lines doing the work.
Yes,
but there are times where I will say, I hear what you're saying, I understand what you're saying, but I want it done a slightly different way. And so that's something that we worked on. The other thing we worked on is not getting triggered by the people in my environment and my team are outside. So I was losing a lot of energy for my day-to-day work based on energy coming towards me from both clients and other people in my environment. And so working with you has really helped kind of, I hate the term, but basically putting up a wall so that energetically I wasn't affected. And for all of you people that might be listening that are so woo, that are thinking, what does she know? This is a turnoff. We'll come around because otherwise you wouldn't be in front of Gagan if that was something that bothered you. But things around us really do impact us. And the more we're willing to open up and allowing to look at it, the more we'll realize how that's happening. So things like that, where now things are happening and I am almost out of my own body watching it and thinking, oh, before I work with Gagan, I would be very upset or angry or frustrated. And now I can observe the situation. I may not be happy with it still because it's still a conflict, but no longer am I getting out of my own zone by what's happening around me, which has helped me become more productive day to day.
So what I'm hearing you say is also that you are more confident and more in control of the energies that come towards you and how you're going to handle them.
Right.
And that eventually and ultimately you've seen an increase in the production, your personal production, the production of your business.
Yes.
So I specifically remember we had just completed our first month of the coaching, and I asked you to do an analysis of what you've accomplished. And you, especially for all those people who are going to be watching this and listening to this, you are very numbers person, and you pretty much keep, not only because of your business needs, but that's your personality. You keep a detailed spreadsheet of pretty much everything that happens on a regular basis in your business. So there was some KPIs that you compared from last year to that particular month. And I remember that you were saying on average, there were like 4 or 5 clients that you were closing into the business, but that particular month or a week, you did 11 on average, which was kind of a skyrocketing increase for you. So tell us a little bit about that piece. What did you feel and how did it happen?
So the business, in terms of the number of clients into the business, has skyrocketed since January when we started working together, and skyrocketed very quickly. One of the things that one must be mindful is being sure what one is asking for.
Yes.
Because I asked to grow the business and the business grew. But I did not completely take the time to think about what I wanted that to look like. And so the universe delivered really big. And now I'm at a stage where I am trying to scale back and regroup with the business that I have, because it grew so quickly that now we're trying to kind of get reorganized on how to deal with the growth, which is a good problem to have.
Exactly. So here's what I always believe, that, at the end of the day, whether you're an attorney or a housewife, whether you are a football player or you are actually a teacher in a school, it doesn't matter what industry or profession you come to. At the end of the day, we want happiness, we want growth, we want prosperity, and we want to be able to thrive and then give back to the community or to clients or to our family members. Doesn't matter. That's the kind of cycle we all want for ourselves. That's why success is very personal to everybody, right? Your success in terms of the business was different than somebody else's success. And it's definitely full circle. Now you have experienced how to manifest, how to focus on something that you really want and how to get it. And then you also have to be, aware that you solve one problem. Like problem was, hey, I'm not able to grow. I want to grow. That was a problem. You solved it. After that, there's going to be another problem. Because solving problems, Meliha, is how you get fulfilled, how you get excited, how your enthusiasm and confidence increases, and how you actually gather the courage to do more. So I'm happy to hear this, that you grew drastically, and now you have to step back to like handle that new problem. How do you handle that growth? Which is an amazing problem to have. It's much more healthier of a problem to have than not to have business at all, right? So did I mute you, or are you muted? No,
I'm not muted. I'm just
okay.
listening.
Yes, well, thank you. So that's beautiful. So tell me, any other advice you would like to give from your personal experience that people need to keep in mind if they're considering working with me as a coach or trying to enroll into another program?
I think that people should be willing to have faith in whatever they think they need from you. If you offer to deliver that to them, that you will deliver it to them, and to understand that it will work itself out. And any obstacles are obstacles that we're only putting on ourselves and are not our illusions that we have, stories we have told ourselves. And so you really need to give an opportunity to listen fully to what Gagan has to offer in terms of the services, because she can fulfill all sorts of different areas of your life and your needs, and give her that opportunity. She is just as skilled in doing business coaching as she is in doing life coaching, and her Soulful mentorship really does touch you in ways that you don't think are possible in that kind of relationship.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Meliha. So tell me one last thing. You started the journey with business in mind, right? You have worked with other business coaches, so you knew that business was the main focus. But do you think that working with me also had a ripple effect on other aspects of your life, like relationships, home, family, or social life or anything?
So I think that to be a fulfilled person in the world, whether it's in your business or your home life, you've got to have a ripple effect. And so for sure, in my head, I needed Gagan to be a business coach to justify the expense, frankly. But it was not only a business coach, it was a personal coach. It helped develop my relationship deeper with my husband, who I have a great relationship with. It also helped deepen my relationship with my son and my friends. And it helped me explore what was important to me in all different aspects of my life so that I could blossom and grow in all of it. And as you grow in one area, you're going to have positive experience in the rest of the areas of your life.
That is awesome. I'm so happy to hear that, because sometimes, people say, oh, you know what, just like you said, to justify the expense, I need a business coach, or I need a personal development workshop so that I can write it off. But all of this is an amazing experience because you get to see results in multiple levels and they just keep unfolding. So 5 months down the road, I'm so proud of you for taking the time and continue walking the journey. It is amazing. Thank you, Meliha. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time as well. I appreciate you.
Take care. You take care.
Bye.
Thank you.